The Force is light and full of shadows. Before we dive in, check the link in the description if you want exclusive timelines, members-only videos you won't find on YouTube, all on our Patreon. The battlefield is hell. Smoke chokes the air. Blaster fire streaks red across a gray sky. The Republic is losing. Anakin Skywalker crouches behind a crumbling wall, his blue lightsaber humming in his right hand, his flesh hand. His left hand, the mechanical one lost to Dooku 3 years ago, grips a detonator. Obi-Wan Kenobi lands beside him, robes scorched, breathing hard. Anakin, we need to fall back. We're outnumbered 50-1. We hold the line, Anakin says. Same reckless confidence that saved them 100 times. Same confidence that will damn him in 3 months. Captain Rex's voice crackles through the comlink. General Skywalker, the 501st is pinned down. Droidekas on the ridge. We can't break through. Anakin glances at Obi-Wan. They both know. If they retreat, the Separatists take Yurbana. If they stay, they die here. A droideka rolls into position 20 meters away. Its shields flicker blue. Blaster cannons charge. Anakin raises his lightsaber. Well, old friend, it's been an honor. The sky tears open. Not metaphorically. The actual sky rips apart like fabric, green lightning crackling through the wound in reality. The air warps. The Force screams. Every droid on the battlefield freezes. Every clone trooper stops firing. The entire war holds its breath. Through the portal steps a man. Simple Jedi robes. Weathered face. Kind eyes that have seen galaxies burn and rise again. A green lightsaber ignites in his hand with a snap hiss that echoes across the battlefield. Anakin feels it before he sees it. A presence in the Force so vast it makes him stumble. Warm, bright, ancient, like standing before a sun that doesn't burn. The man raises one hand. Every battle droid on the field, 10,000 B-1s, super battle droids droidekas, lifts into the air simultaneously. Just hangs there, suspended by invisible threads. The man closes his fist. The droids crumple. Metal shrieks. Circuits spark. 10,000 war machines compressed into scrap in 3 seconds. The sky rains metal. Silence. Obi-Wan's lightsaber drops from his hand. His voice is barely a whisper. Impossible. The man deactivates his green blade, walks toward them with measured steps. Calm, purposeful. The Force radiates from him like light through stained glass. Clone troopers part without being asked. No one can look directly at him. His presence is too much. He stops 5 meters from Anakin. Their eyes meet. Blue eyes. The same blue Anakin sees in the mirror every morning. The man's voice is soft, gentle. Hello, Father. Anakin's world stops. His mechanical hand trembles. His breath catches. The Force surges around him, not in warning, but in recognition, like finding a piece of himself he didn't know was missing. What? What did you just call me? Anakin's voice cracks. The man smiles, sad, knowing. Infinite compassion in that expression. My name is Luke Skywalker. I'm your son, and I've traveled back through time to save you. Obi-Wan stares. Captain Rex's helmet turns toward them, frozen mid-step. Luke continues, his voice carrying across the silent battlefield. In another timeline, one I've come to prevent, you fall to the dark side in 3 months. You become Darth Vader. You lead the 501st Legion in the slaughter of the Jedi Temple. You kill younglings. You force-choke Padme Amidala on Mustafar, and she dies believing you've become a monster. Obi-Wan leaves you burning on the lava banks, and for 23 years you serve Emperor Palpatine as his broken enforcer. A man more machine than human, believing you killed everyone you ever loved. Anakin can't breathe. The words hit like blaster bolts, each one true, each one impossible, but the Force doesn't lie. No, Anakin whispers, I would never. Padme, you wouldn't, Luke says. Anakin Skywalker wouldn't. But Darth Vader would. He takes a step closer. That's why I'm here, Dad, to make sure you never become him. The green lightsaber hilt hangs from Luke's belt, weathered, used, loved. Anakin looks at this man, this impossible, powerful, kind man, and feels something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. How? Anakin asks. How is this possible? The world between worlds, Luke says. A place outside time, The Force showed me a door. I walked through it. And I chose this moment, right now, before everything goes wrong, to save my father. Obi-Wan finally finds his voice. Luke turns to him. Yes, Master Kenobi. In the original timeline, you trained me. You gave me my father's lightsaber on Tatooine, after he became Vader. You told me Vader betrayed and murdered Anakin Skywalker. But you were wrong. Anakin was still there, buried deep. And I saved him. On the second Death Star, he chose love over hate. He threw the Emperor down a reactor shaft to save my life, and he died in my arms, redeemed. Tears stream down Anakin's face. He doesn't care who sees. Luke extends his hand, but we don't have to walk that path. We can choose differently. Right here, right now. Anakin takes his son's hand. Flesh and flesh, father and son across time. I don't understand any of this, Anakin says, but I believe you. Good, Luke says, because we have work to do. He releases Anakin's hand and addresses the clones. Captain Rex, order your men to secure the perimeter. What I'm about to discuss with General Skywalker and General Kenobi is classified above top secret. Rex snaps to attention. Yes, sir. He doesn't question. The Force is telling him to obey this stranger. Every instinct says, trust him. The 501st forms a defensive circle. Obi-Wan retrieves his lightsaber, hands still shaking. Luke looks at Anakin. We need to talk. Privately. On your ship. The Resolute is in orbit, Anakin says. We can be there in 10 minutes. Then let's go, Luke says. We're running out of time. Palpatine will sense the disruption in the Force. We need to move fast. Anakin activates his comlink. All forces fall back to the landing zone. The battle is over. As they walk toward the gunships, Obi-Wan falls into step beside Luke. You said you trained under me, in another life. You were a great teacher, Luke says. You gave everything to stop the Empire. And you never gave up on my father, even when everyone else did. Obi-Wan's voice is quiet. Did I succeed? Luke stops, looks at him. You died believing Anakin was lost forever, but your sacrifice saved the galaxy. So yes, Master Kenobi, you succeeded. They board the gunship. As it rises toward the stars, Anakin watches his son, this impossible, miraculous son, and realizes everything is about to change. The Resolute, Anakin's Venator-class Star Destroyer, command ship of the 501st Legion. Anakin seals the door to his personal quarters. Obi-Wan stands by the viewport. Luke sits calmly, hands folded. The room is simple. A bunk, a desk, a holoprojector. Anakin has never needed much. Before we begin, Obi-Wan says the Council must be informed immediately. A Force user of your power appearing from nowhere. No, Luke interrupts. His tone is gentle but absolute. The Council is the last group we inform. They're part of the problem. Obi-Wan's hand moves toward his lightsaber. Excuse me. Luke doesn't flinch. Master Kenobi, I mean no disrespect, but in the timeline I come from, the Jedi Council's arrogance and rigidity are what doom the Order. They sense Anakin's fear and anger, but instead of helping him process those emotions, they isolate him. They forbid him from having meaningful attachments. They make him feel like a monster for loving his wife. Anakin goes very still. You know about Padme? Yes, Luke says. Senator Padme Amidala of Naboo. You married her in secret 3 years ago on Naboo, immediately after the Battle of Geonosis. C-3PO and R2-D2 were your only witnesses. You've kept it hidden because the Jedi Code forbids attachment. Obi-Wan sinks into a chair. Anakin, is this true? Anakin's jaw tightens. Yes. Silence. Luke continues. Right now, Padme is pregnant, with twins. She doesn't know yet. She'll discover it in about 2 weeks. And that pregnancy is what Palpatine will use to destroy you, Father. Anakin's head snaps up. Pregnant? Twins? A boy and a girl, Luke says. In the original timeline, Padme names us Luke and Leia. I'm the boy. Leia becomes a senator like our mother, and a rebel leader. She's strong in the Force too, though she never receives training until much later. Anakin can barely process it. A son, a daughter, Padme carrying his children right now. You said Palpatine will use this against me, Anakin's voice is hollow. Luke nods. In about 3 months, you start having visions, nightmares of Padme dying in childbirth. The Force is warning you. Something is wrong. But instead of trusting the Council, instead of seeking help, Palpatine offers you a solution. What solution? Obi-Wan asks. He reveals himself as Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. He tells Anakin that the dark side can prevent death, that he learned this power from his master, Darth Plagueis the Wise. He promises to teach Anakin how to save Padme, if Anakin serves him. Anakin stands abruptly. That's insane. Palpatine is my friend. He's the Supreme Chancellor. He's not. He is, Luke says. His voice is iron. Sheev Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus is his apprentice. The Clone Wars are a fabrication. Palpatine controls both sides, the Republic and the Separatists. He orchestrated the entire war to accumulate emergency powers and position himself as dictator. That would mean every battle, every death, all of it. Manufactured, Luke confirms. Palpatine needed the war to justify creating a clone army, and he needed the clone army to execute Order 66. What is Order 66? Anakin asks. Luke's expression darkens. Every clone trooper has an inhibitor chip implanted in their brain at the embryonic stage on Camino. It's sold as a behavioral modification chip to ensure obedience. But its true purpose is to execute a single command, Order 66. When Palpatine gives that order, every clone in the galaxy will turn on their Jedi generals and kill them, simultaneously, across every battlefield. The Jedi Order will be wiped out in minutes. Anakin feels sick. Rex, Fives, Cody, they won't have a choice, Luke says. The chip removes free will. It's a biological override. In the original timeline, Captain Rex tries to resist. He manages to tell Ahsoka Tano to find Fives before the chip fully takes over. Ahsoka uses that clue to discover the truth and removes Rex's chip. But by then, the rest of the Jedi are already dead. The ARC trooper who died under mysterious circumstances months ago, he was raving about a conspiracy before he was shot. He discovered the inhibitor chips, Luke says. He tried to warn everyone, but Palpatine had him murdered before he could expose the truth. However, before Fives died, Captain Rex filed a confidential grievance report about the chips. That report is stored in the Republic archives. We can access it. Anakin's hands are shaking. His brothers, his men, used as weapons against the Jedi. Against him, this gets worse, Luke continues. After Palpatine reveals himself, he manipulates you into helping him kill Mace Windu. You think you're saving Padme, but the moment you kneel before Sidious, the moment you become Darth Vader, you're already lost. I would never kneel to a Sith, Anakin says. You do it out of desperation. Luke says. Palpatine convinces you that the Jedi are traitors, that they're trying to overthrow the Republic. And in your fear for Padme, in your anger at the Council for never trusting you, you make the wrong choice. Luke stands, walks to Anakin, places a hand on his father's shoulder. Palpatine sends you to the Jedi Temple with the 501st Legion. You lead them through the halls. You kill every Jedi you find. Masters, knights, younglings, children as young as 5 years old, begging for their lives, and you cut them down because Vader doesn't care. Vader is a weapon. Anakin's knees buckle. Obi-Wan catches him. No, Anakin gasps. I wouldn't. I couldn't. You do, Luke says. His voice is gentle, but relentless. Then Palpatine sends you to Mustafar to kill the Separatist Council. You slaughter them. When you're done, Padme comes to you. She's seen what you've become. She begs you to stop, to come back. But you're so deep in the dark side by then, so consumed by paranoia, that when you see Obi-Wan arrive with her, you think she's betrayed you. You force-choke your pregnant wife, the woman you love more than life itself. Tears stream down Anakin's face. Stop. Please. Obi-Wan duels you on the lava banks, Luke continues. You're powerful, but you're reckless. Arrogant. You leap at him from the low ground and he cuts off both your legs and your remaining organic arm. You burn alive beside the lava river. Palpatine retrieves what's left of you and rebuilds you as a cyborg. Black armor, respirator mask, mechanical limbs. You spend 23 years as a slave to the Emperor, believing you killed Padme and your children in your rage. Anakin is sobbing now. Obi-Wan's eyes are wet. Luke's voice softens. But that's not the end of the story. Because even after all of that, even after decades as Vader, there was still good in you. When I was 23 years old, I confronted you on the second Death Star. The Emperor tortured me with forced lightning, trying to turn me to the dark side. You watched me die, and in that moment you made a choice. You chose love over hate. You threw Palpatine down the reactor shaft. The lightning killed you, but before you died I removed your mask. I saw your face, you smiled at me, Dad. You said, "You were right about me. Tell your sister, you were right." Anakin looks up at his son. This impossible, miraculous son. "You saved me?" Anakin whispers. "You saved yourself," Luke says. "I just gave you a reason to. And now I'm here to make sure you never need saving in the first place." Obi-Wan wipes his eyes. This is too much. If what you say is true, we must inform the Council immediately. We must arrest Palpatine. No, Luke says. Not yet. If we move too quickly, if Palpatine senses we're onto him, he'll trigger Order 66 early. He'll disappear into the unknown regions and rebuild. We'll lose our chance. Then what do we do? Anakin asks. Luke's expression hardens. We dismantle his plan piece by piece. First, we remove the inhibitor chips from the 501st Legion. Then we gather irrefutable evidence of Palpatine's Sith identity. Then we present that evidence to the Council in a way they cannot ignore. Then we work with Padme and Bail Organa to remove Palpatine legally through the Senate. And finally, when he has no army, no political power, and nowhere to run, we capture him. That's actually brilliant, Obi-Wan admits. Anakin stands, wipes his face. His voice is steel. When do we start? Luke smiles. Right now. Anakin's quarters, the holo projector hums to life. Luke inputs a series of codes. These are access codes for the Republic archives. In my timeline, I studied them extensively while rebuilding the Jedi Order. Some files are buried deep. But I know where to look. The hologram flickers. A document appears. Confidential Grievance Report. CT. 5555. Filed by Captain CT. 756. 7 Rex. Obi-Wan reads aloud. Report filed 19 BBY. Subject. Inhibitor chips implanted in clone troopers. Concern. Unknown purpose of chips. Fives claimed chips could be used for behavioral control. Request. Full medical investigation. Status. Denied by order of Supreme Chancellor. Anakin's jaw tightens. Palpatine denied the investigation. Of course he did, Luke says. Fives got too close to the truth, so Palpatine had him eliminated and buried the report. This one is heavily encrypted. He works through the security layers with practiced ease. A holo recording plays. Count Dooku's voice. Master, the clone army is ready. Order 66 has been programmed into every unit. Palpatine's voice. Unmistakable but colder. Excellent, Lord Tyrannus. Soon the Jedi will be eradicated, and I will rule the galaxy unchallenged. Dooku. What of Skywalker? You still wish to turn him? Palpatine. He is the key. The chosen one will become my apprentice, or he will die. The recording ends. Silence. Obi-Wan's face is ashen. That's the Chancellor's voice. That's Darth Sidious's voice, Luke corrects. I pulled this from Separatist archives. Dooku was careless. He kept records of his conversations with his master. In the original timeline, the Republic never found them because the Separatist leadership was wiped out too quickly. But I know where to look. Anakin stares at the hologram. His friend, his mentor, the man who guided him through the war, a Sith Lord. How long? Anakin asks quietly. How long has he been manipulating me? Since you were 9 years old, Luke says. He met you on Naboo during the Trade Federation blockade. He sensed your power in the Force immediately. He's been grooming you for 2 decades, Anakin. Every word of encouragement, every time he made you feel valued when the Council doubted you, every moment he positioned himself as the father figure you never had. All of it was manipulation designed to make you his. Anakin's hands clench into fists. I'll kill him. No, Luke says firmly. We do this carefully, legally. We expose him so thoroughly that even his allies in the Senate turn against him. We make him a pariah. Then we take him down. Obi-Wan paces. The Council will never believe this. Anakin is too emotionally compromised. They'll think he's unstable, Luke finishes. I know. That's why we don't go to them first. We go to the clones. The clones? Anakin asks. The 501st Legion, Luke says. Your most loyal troops. We remove their inhibitor chips. All of them. Once they're free, they become our proof. Living testimony that Order 66 exists. How do we remove the chips without alerting Palpatine? Obi-Wan asks. We stage routine medical evaluations. Luke says. Tell the men they need physicals. Take them to a secure medical facility in the Outer Rim, somewhere the Republic doesn't monitor closely. I'll use the Force to guide the medical droids. The procedure is delicate, but I've studied the technique. 0 casualties, 0 complications. You've thought of everything. I've had 60 years to think about how to fix this, Luke says. I'm not wasting the chance. Obi-Wan crosses his arms. Even if we free the 501st, that's only a few thousand men. There are millions of clone troopers across the galaxy. We can't possibly. Once they're free, once they testify to the Council, the Jedi can order a galaxy-wide medical examination. We'll find a way to remove all the chips, but we need a foothold first. We need proof the Council can't ignore. Captain Rex, report to my quarters immediately. On my way, sir, Rex's voice crackles back. 2 minutes later, Rex enters. He salutes. General Skywalker, General Kenobi, and, sir. He looks at Luke uncertainly. What I'm about to tell you will be difficult to hear. But I need you to trust me. Rex removes his helmet. With respect, sir. I don't know you. No, Luke says. But you knew Fives. Rex goes very still. Fives was right. Luke continues. Every clone trooper has an inhibitor chip in their brain. It's not for behavioral modification. It's for Order 66, a command that will force you to kill all Jedi. Palpatine is going to use it to wipe out the Order, and Fives died trying to warn you. Rex's voice is hoarse. How do you know this? Luke shows him the hologram. Palpatine's voice. Dooku's confirmation. The archived report Rex himself filed. Rex watches. His hands start shaking. When the recording ends, Rex sinks into a chair. I didn't believe him. Fives was my brother, and I thought he was insane. I let him die thinking I didn't trust him. You filed the report, Luke says. You tried to investigate. Palpatine shut you down. This isn't your fault, Captain. It's his. Rex looks up. His eyes are hard. What do you need me to do? We're going to remove your chip, Luke says. Then we're going to remove the chips from every man in the 501st. And then we're going to save the galaxy. Rex stands. Salutes. The 501st is yours, sir. All of us. Anakin places a hand on Rex's shoulder. We're going to fix this, old friend. I promise. Luke pulls up a star chart. There's a secure medical station on Ord Mantell. Republic facility, but isolated. We can transport the 501st there under the guise of medical evaluations. The procedure takes 30 minutes per soldier. With 3 medical bays running simultaneously, we can process the entire Legion in 6 days. 6 days is a long time, Obi-Wan says. Palpatine will notice if Anakin's Legion vanishes for a week. We tell him we're hunting a separatist cell. Anakin says. Deep in the Outer Rim. No communication for operational security. He'll buy it. I've done it before. Luke nods. Good. We move immediately. Rex, gather your officers. Brief them carefully. Tell them this is a mandatory medical evaluation. Don't mention the chips until we're on Ord Mantell. Understood, Rex says. As Rex leaves, Obi-Wan turns to Luke. You're risking everything on this plan. If it fails... It won't fail, Luke says. I've already lived through the timeline where we did nothing. Where the Jedi fell. Where my father burned. I'm not letting that happen again. Anakin looks at his son. At this man who crossed time itself to save him. We won't let you down, Anakin says. Luke smiles. I know, Dad. I know. They depart the Resolute within the hour. The 501st Legion boards transports, confused but obedient. Captain Rex tells them it's routine. Just physicals, nothing to worry about. But Anakin watches his men file onto the ships, and he thinks about Fives. About a soldier who saw the truth and died for it. "We're going to make this right," Anakin whispers. "For all of them." Luke stands beside him, silent. The green lightsaber hums at his belt, and in the depths of space the fleet jumps to hyperspace. The mission to save the galaxy has begun. Ord Mantell. Outer Rim. A Republic medical facility built into the side of a mountain. The 501st Legion lands in waves. Clone troopers disembark, confused but disciplined. They've been told this is a routine medical evaluation. Standard procedure. Captain Rex knows better. Inside the medical bay, Luke stands with Anakin and Obi-Wan. 3 operating theaters are prepped. Medical droids stand ready. AZ series surgical units, the same model that helped Fives discover the conspiracy. Rex enters first. He's volunteered to go first, to prove it's safe. "Captain," Luke says, "this will feel strange, but I promise you, you'll wake up free." Rex removes his helmet, sets it on the table. His face is weathered, scarred. He's seen more battles than most beings see in a lifetime. "Fives was my brother," Rex says quietly. "If there's a chip in my head that would make me kill General Skywalker, I want it gone." He lies on the operating table. The medical droid begins the scan. Luke places his hand on Rex's forehead. "I'm going to guide the procedure with the Force. You'll feel pressure, but no pain. Just breathe." Rex closes his eyes. The scan reveals it immediately. A small organic chip embedded at the base of Rex's brainstem. Tumor-like. Designed to look like a natural growth if anyone bothered to check. "There it is," Obi-Wan whispers. Anakin stares at the holographic display. That thing has been in his head since he was created on Kamino. Precision protocol. I'll monitor the neural pathways. The droid's surgical arms extend. Micro-laser cutters activate. Luke's eyes glow faintly. The Force flows through him, into Rex, into the droid. He can see every neuron, every synapse, every connection. The chip is entangled with Rex's brain tissue, designed to be inoperable without killing the host. But Luke is a Grandmaster. He's performed Force healing at the cellular level. This is delicate, but not impossible. "Steady," Luke murmurs. 3 millimeters left. Now down. Sever the neural connection now. The droid cuts. The chip separates cleanly. The medical arm lifts it free. Rex gasps. His eyes snap open. "Captain?" Anakin leans over him. "Are you?" "I'm fine," Rex breathes. I feel fine." He sits up slowly, looks at the chip floating in the specimen jar. "That was in my head," Rex says. "That was going to make me kill you." Anakin's jaw tightens. Not anymore. Rex stands, tests his coordination, his balance. Everything functions normally. Better than normally. There's a clarity in his mind that wasn't there before. Like a fog has lifted. "It worked," Rex says. He looks at Luke. "Thank you, sir." "Don't thank me yet," Luke says. "We have 5,000 more to go. Over the next 6 days, the entire 501st Legion passes through the operating theaters. Jesse, Kix, Hardcase, Dogma, Toop, Apo. Every trooper who served under Anakin Skywalker. Each procedure is the same. Scan, locate chip, extract, recover. 0 casualties. 0 complications. Luke guides every single operation. He doesn't sleep, doesn't eat. Just stands there, hour after hour, using the Force to ensure each man wakes up free. Anakin watches his son work, watches him save these men with the same gentle precision he uses for everything. On the 3rd day, Jesse wakes up and sees his chip. He starts crying. "I was going to kill Commander Tano. I was going to shoot Ahsoka in the back." Anakin grips his shoulder. "But you won't. You're free now." By the 6th day, every member of the 501st has been freed. They gather in the main hangar, 5,000 clone troopers standing at attention. Rex steps forward. Address his brothers. "Men, you've all seen what was in your heads. You know what it was designed to do. The Kaminoans told us the chips were for behavioral modification. They lied. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine placed those chips in us to use us as weapons against the Jedi." Murmurs ripple through the ranks. "But we're not weapons anymore," Rex continues. "We're soldiers, brothers, and we're going to stop this." Anakin steps forward. "The 501st has always been the best legion in the Grand Army. Today, you become something more. You become the legion that saved the Republic. The clones slam their fists against their chest plates. The sound echoes like thunder. Luke watches, feels the shift in the Force. 5,000 futures rewritten. 5,000 men who will not become murderers. Obi-Wan approaches Luke. You did it. You actually did it. This is only the beginning, Luke says. Now comes the hard part. The Council, Obi-Wan says. Yes, Luke confirms. It's time they learn the truth. Coruscant. The Jedi Temple. High Council Chamber. 12 chairs arranged in a circle. Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, Shak Ti, Ajan Kolar, Ceci Tien, Kit Fisto, Ayla Secura, Luminara Unduli, Stas Ali, Coleman Kaj. They wait. The doors open. Anakin enters. Obi-Wan follows. Then Luke, this unknown Force user who appeared from nowhere and vanished with an entire clone legion for 6 days. Captain Rex enters last, still in armor, carrying a secure case. Mace Windu's voice is cold. Anakin Skywalker, you were ordered to bring this Force user to the Council immediately upon his arrival. Instead, you disappeared for nearly a week. Explain yourself. Anakin stands at attention. Masters, Luke steps forward. The delay was my doing, Master Windu. I required time to prepare evidence that would convince you of the truth. Truth? Mace's hand moves toward his lightsaber. You are an unauthorized Force user who appeared on a battlefield without identification or sanction. You will submit to questioning, or you will be detained. Luke raises his hand. Mace's lightsaber rips from his belt and flies into Luke's palm. He catches it, doesn't ignite it, just holds it with perfect calm. Sit down, Master Windu. The room explodes. Jedi leap to their feet. Lightsabers ignite. Blue and green blades hum in the sacred chamber. Luke doesn't move. His presence in the Force expands. Not aggressive, not threatening, just vast, overwhelming, like trying to fight a star. Every Jedi in the room feels it. This isn't just power. This is mastery. Decades of experience compressed into a single presence. Yoda's ears droop. He raises his gimmer stick. Enough. Lower your blades, you will. The Jedi hesitate, then obey. Luke hands Mace's lightsaber back to him. Forgive the demonstration, Master Windu. But I needed your attention. His hands are shaking slightly. Who are you? My name is Luke Skywalker, Luke says. I am a Jedi Master, and I come from 60 years in the future. Time travel is. The world between worlds, Yoda interrupts. His voice is quiet. Real it is. Ancient Jedi texts speak of it. A place outside time. Vergence sites exist. Gateways. Master Yoda is correct, Luke says. I accessed the world between worlds through a Force vision. I walked through a door, and I arrived on the battlefield at Yurbana with a singular purpose, to save the Jedi Order from its greatest failure. Mace crosses his arms. What failure? Luke's voice is steel. In 3 months, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine will reveal himself as Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. He will issue Order 66, and every clone trooper in the galaxy will turn on their Jedi generals. The Jedi Order will be destroyed in a single day. Thousands of Jedi will be murdered. Younglings will be slaughtered in this very temple. And it will happen because you, the Council, are too arrogant to see the truth. The chamber erupts in protest. Heresy, Ki-Adi-Mundi shouts. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium, Ceci Tien adds. Luke's presence pulses once. The room falls silent. Extinct. Luke's laugh is bitter. The Sith have been operating under your noses for decades. Count Dooku is Darth Tyrannus, Sidious's apprentice. The Clone Wars are a fabrication. Palpatine controls both sides. He manufactured this entire conflict to gain emergency powers and position himself as Emperor. Lies, Mace says. But his voice lacks conviction. Captain Rex, Luke says. Show them. Rex opens the case. Inside, 5,000 inhibitor chips, each one labeled with a trooper's designation. CT 7567, CT 4040. On and on. Rex activates the holoprojector. The recording plays. Palpatine's voice. Dooku's voice. Order 66. The conspiracy laid bare. Then Rex plays his own report. The one he filed about fives. The one Palpatine buried. The Council watches in silence. When the recordings end, Rex speaks. Masters, every clone trooper in the Grand Army has one of these chips in their brain. We were told they were for behavioral modification. The truth is they're designed to force us to kill Jedi when Palpatine gives the order. ARC Trooper 5's discovered this. He tried to warn everyone. He was murdered for it. Rex gestures to the chips. These are from the 501st Legion. Every man in General Skywalker's command has been freed. We are living proof that Order 66 exists. This is impossible. It's the truth, Obi-Wan says. I've seen the evidence. I've verified the holo-recordings. Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Yoda closes his eyes. His ears flatten completely. Failed, we have. Blind to the darkness, we were. Luke's voice softens. Not just blind, Grandmaster. Complacent. You sensed the dark side shrouding the Force, but you dismissed it. You felt Anakin's fear and anger, but instead of helping him, you isolated him. You clung to dogma instead of compassion. Plo Koon speaks, his voice modulated through his mask. What would you have us do differently? Luke turns to him. Start by acknowledging that the Jedi code you follow is incomplete. There is no emotion, there is peace. But that's a lie. Emotion is part of being alive. Love, joy, grief, fear. These are not weaknesses. They're what make us sentient. He paces the circle, addressing each master in turn. You teach younglings to suppress their feelings. To deny attachment, you tell them love leads to the dark side. Do you know what that creates? Jedi who are emotionally stunted. Jedi who view relationships as transactions. Jedi who cannot connect with the people they're supposed to protect. Mace stands. Attachment clouds judgment. No, Luke interrupts. Fear clouds judgment, and you are so afraid of the dark side that you've forgotten what it means to be compassionate. You view Anakin Skywalker with suspicion, because he loves his wife. You sense his fear for Padme, and you interpret it as darkness. But Anakin's love for her is the purest thing about him. It's what keeps him in the light. And your Order's refusal to acknowledge that love, to help him navigate it, is what drives him into Palpatine's arms. Anakin's eyes widen. Luke just revealed the secret marriage in front of the entire council. Luminara unduly gasps. Skywalker is married? Yes, Luke says, to Senator Padme Amidala. They married 3 years ago on Naboo, and right now she's pregnant with twins. In the original timeline, Anakin has visions of her dying in childbirth. Palpatine uses that fear to manipulate him. He promises to teach Anakin how to save Padme using the dark side, and in his desperation, Anakin falls. Shak Ti's voice is gentle. And in this timeline? In this timeline, Luke says, you help him. You acknowledge that his love for Padme is not a sin. You teach him how to process fear without suppressing it. You treat him like a person, not a problem. He turns to Yoda. Grandmaster, you teach that we must let go of everything we fear to lose. But letting go does not mean caring less. It means trusting in the Force while still fighting to protect those we love. The ancient Jedi understood this. They married. They had families. And they were no less powerful for it. Yoda's eyes glisten. Wise words these are. Forgotten this truth, the modern order has. Luke's voice rises, filling the chamber. In the timeline I come from, every single one of you dies. Master Windu is thrown from Palpatine's office window after Anakin betrays you. Master Yoda survives Order 66 and goes into exile on Dagobah, carrying the guilt of the Order's destruction for 19 years. Obi-Wan watches Anakin burn on Mustafar and spends 2 decades in the desert, broken by grief. The younglings are slaughtered, the temple burns, and it all happens because you couldn't see past your own arrogance. Silence. Ki-Adi-Mundi's voice is small. What? What would you have us do? Luke's tone softens. Change. Reform the Order. Acknowledge that the Jedi Code isn't wrong. Your interpretation of it is. Emotion isn't the enemy. Cruelty is. Attachment isn't darkness. Possessiveness is. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. The absence of compassion does. Mace Windu looks at Anakin. You love Senator Amidala. Yes, Anakin says. No hesitation. No shame. I love her more than anything in the galaxy. And I'm not apologizing for it. Mace nods slowly. Then we will help you protect her, as we should have from the beginning. Aayla Secura steps forward. Master Skywalker, you said Palpatine will reveal himself. How do we stop him? Carefully, Luke says. We cannot simply arrest him. He's the Supreme Chancellor. If we act without irrefutable proof, the Senate will view it as a Jedi coup. We need to work with allies in the Senate. Padme, Bail Organa, Mon Mothma. We build a legal case. We invoke Article 7 of the Galactic Constitution. We remove him through democratic process. And if he resists? Kit Fisto asks. Then we're ready, Luke says. But we don't give him an excuse to paint us as traitors. We do this the right way. Yoda thumps his gimmer stick. Agree, I do. To Senator Amidala, we must go. Allies in the Senate, we need. Luke nods. I'll take Anakin to meet with Padme. Master Kenobi, can you begin coordinating with Bail Organa? Of course, Obi-Wan says. Mace looks at Luke. You've humbled us today, Master Skywalker. You've shown us our failures. We will do better. I know you will, Luke says, because this time you have a second chance. Don't waste it. The Council bows, all 12 Masters, to Luke. It's unprecedented, historic. The High Council of the Jedi Order, humbled by the truth. As they leave the chamber, Yoda stops Luke. Your father, proud of you he would be. Luke smiles. He's standing right here, Master Yoda, and I hope he is. Anakin places his hand on Luke's shoulder. I am, son. I am. 500 Republica, Coruscant, the most exclusive address in the galaxy. Anakin stands at the door, nervous. Luke beside him. She doesn't know I'm coming, Anakin says. I haven't told her anything. It's time she knew, Luke says gently. Anakin opens the door. Padme. She emerges from the bedroom radiant even in simple robes. Her hair is down, no makeup, just Padme. Then she sees Luke. She stops, stares, her hand flies to her mouth. Anakin, who is this? Luke steps forward, removes his hood. Hello, Mother. Padme's knees buckle. Anakin catches her, guides her to a chair. Mother? Her voice is barely a whisper. I'm not. You're pregnant, Luke says gently. With twins. You'll discover it in about 2 weeks. A boy and a girl. You'll name us Luke and Leia. Tears stream down Padme's face. She looks at Anakin. Is this real? It's real, Anakin says. Padme, he's from the future. He's our son. Padme reaches out, touches Luke's face. Her fingers trace his features. Anakin's nose, her eyes, a blend of both of them. You're mine, she whispers. You're really mine. Luke takes her hand. I'm yours. I'm Anakin's. And I've traveled back through time to make sure you both survive what's coming. Over the next hour, Luke explains everything. Gently, carefully. He tells her about the fall, about Vader, about her death, about the twins being separated. He tells her about Leia becoming a senator, a rebel leader, strong, brilliant, compassionate. He tells her about his own journey, training under Obi-Wan and Yoda, confronting Vader, redeeming his father. And he tells her about the galaxy that could have been, the Empire, the tyranny, the suffering. But none of that has to happen, Luke says, because we're going to stop it. Padme wipes her eyes, straightens her spine. Senator mode activates. Palpatine is a Sith Lord. That makes him a traitor to the Republic. We need to build a legal case that even his allies in the Senate cannot ignore. She activates her personal holonet terminal, calls Bail Organa. His hologram appears. Senator Amidala. What can I? He stops, sees Luke. Who is that? Senator Organa. Padme says, I need you to come to my apartment immediately. Bring Mon Mothma if she's available. We're about to save the Republic. 30 minutes later, Bail Organa and Mon Mothma arrive. Luke shows them the evidence, the holo recordings, the inhibitor chips, Five's report, everything. Bail's face goes white. Palpatine orchestrated the entire war. He's been playing the Republic and the Separatists against each other for 3 years, accumulating power, positioning himself to become Emperor. I voted for his emergency powers. You didn't know, Luke says. He's a master manipulator. But now we do know. and we can stop him. Padme leans forward. Article 7 of the Galactic Constitution allows for the emergency removal of a Supreme Chancellor if evidence of treason is presented to the Senate. We need a vote of no confidence. Then we need to arrest him. Bail nods. I can rally the delegations from Alderaan, Chandrila, and Naboo. Mon Mothma can bring the Outer Rim senators, but we'll need the Jedi Council's support. You have it. Anakin says. Master Yoda and Master Windu are coordinating with Obi-Wan as we speak. Mon Mothma stands. Then we present the evidence to the full Senate tomorrow. We force a vote. And we end this. Padme looks at Luke. Will it work? In my timeline, no one tried, Luke says. You have a chance now. Take it. That night, Padme and Anakin sit together on the balcony. The Coruscant skyline glitters beneath them. We're having twins, Padme says softly. Luke and Leia. And they're going to grow up in a galaxy at peace, not war. She leans against him. I was so afraid. In my dreams, I saw myself dying, leaving you alone. That's not going to happen, Anakin says. Luke is here. He's going to make sure we all survive. Padme looks up at the stars. He's remarkable, Ani. He has your strength, my compassion, and something more. A wisdom that comes from living through darkness and choosing light. He's the best of both of us, Anakin agrees. Inside the apartment, Luke stands alone, reaches out through the Force. He can feel Palpatine in the Senate building, the dark side roiling around him like a storm. The Sith Lord doesn't know yet, doesn't realize his plan is unraveling. But he will. Soon, Luke's hand moves to his lightsaber, the green blade his father will never see him build in this timeline, because Anakin won't fall, won't burn, won't need redemption. Tomorrow, Luke whispers. Tomorrow we end this. Behind him, Anakin and Padme return from the balcony. They stand together, looking at their son from the future. Thank you, Padme says, for coming back, for saving us. Luke turns, smiles. You're my family. I'd cross time itself for you. In fact, I did. Anakin pulls Luke into an embrace, father and son, past and future, united. We're going to win, Anakin says. I know, Luke replies, because this time, we're not fighting alone. The three of them stand together, a family forged across timelines, a family that will save the galaxy. And in the Senate building, Darth Sidious sits on his throne, unaware that his 1,000-year plan is about to crumble. The Republic is about to strike back. Palpatine's office. 500 Republica. The Supreme Chancellor sits at his desk, reviewing legislation. Then he feels it. A disturbance in the Force. Massive. Unprecedented. His eyes snap open. Yellow flickers beneath the blue. Something has changed. The carefully woven web of the dark side. 3 years of manipulation, decades of planning. It's trembling. Threads snapping. The pattern unraveling. Palpatine reaches out through the Force, probes the tremor. There. In the Jedi Temple, a presence he doesn't recognize. Impossibly powerful. Ancient. And somehow, familiar. Worse, Anakin has changed. The fear, the anger, the hunger Palpatine has cultivated so carefully, it's gone. Replaced by calm certainty, by hope. No, Palpatine hisses. Vader was supposed to be mine. He activates his secure holonet terminal, calls Commander Cody on Utapau. My lord, Cody's hologram appears. Execute Order 66, Palpatine says. Silence. Cody's expression doesn't change. I'm sorry, Supreme Chancellor. Could you repeat that? Palpatine's jaw tightens. Execute Order 66. I don't understand, sir, Cody says. What is Order 66? Impossible. The chip should have activated automatically. The protocol is hardwired. Palpatine tries again. Reaches through the Force to trigger Cody's chip manually. Nothing happens. Cody is still standing there, confused. Palpatine cuts the transmission. Calls Commander Gree on Kashyyyk. Execute Order 66. Is this a new directive? Palpatine slams his fist on the desk. The dark side roils around him. They know. Somehow, they know. He reaches for his lightsaber, hidden in the desk drawer, waiting for the day he'd need to reveal himself. His comlink chimes. Maz Ahmeda's voice. Supreme Chancellor, The Senate is convening an emergency session. Senator Amidala has called for a vote of no confidence. Palpatine goes very still. On what grounds? She's presenting evidence of treason, my lord, against you. The word hits like a blade. Treason. Palpatine stands, smooths his robes. The panic is carefully hidden now. He's played this game for too long to lose composure. I will address the Senate personally, Palpatine says. Prepare my transport. He deactivates the comlink. Stands alone in his office. 50 years of planning. The rule of two. Plagueis' training. The manipulation of the Trade Federation. The creation of the clone army. The orchestration of the Clone Wars. All of it at risk. Palpatine opens a secret panel in his desk. Inside, a Sith holocron, emergency escape routes, contingency plans. But he's not fleeing. Not yet. If they know, Palpatine murmurs, then I need leverage. He activates his personal emergency channel, the one that bypasses all Republic security. Count Dooku's hologram appears. Master, Lord Tyrannus, Palpatine says, the Jedi know. I don't know how, but they know everything. Execute the backup plan. Mobilize the Separatist fleet. Assault Coruscant immediately. Dooku's eyes widen. My lord, we're not ready. The fleet is scattered. Something to keep the Jedi occupied while I eliminate the threat. What threat? Dooku asks. An unknown Force user, Palpatine says. Impossibly powerful. He's turned Skywalker against me. I need him dead. Dooku hesitates. Master, if this Force user is as powerful as you say, then we kill him together, Palpatine says. You, me, the full power of the Sith. Meet me at the Senate building. Bring your lightsaber. The transmission ends. Palpatine walks to his window, looks out at Coruscant, the city planet he's about to rule as Emperor. Unless this mysterious Jedi stops him, I will not fail, Palpatine whispers. The dark side is eternal. He reaches beneath his desk, activates a hidden switch. Deep below the Senate building, in the emergency shuttle bay built for exactly this contingency, landing lights flicker to life. Palpatine has always had an escape route. Always. He leaves his office, walks through the corridors of the Senate. Senators nod respectfully as he passes. They have no idea what's about to happen. But in the Jedi Temple, Luke stops mid-step. His eyes snap open. He knows, Luke says. Palpatine knows we're coming for him. Anakin turns. How can you tell? I can feel him in the Force, Luke says. He's panicking. Activating contingencies. He's going to run. Obi-Wan steps forward. Then we move now, before he escapes. Luke shakes his head. No, if we chase him, he'll trigger the Separatist fleet. Orbital bombardment of Coruscant. Millions dead. We need to corner him. Force him to face us on our terms. How? Anakin asks. Luke's expression hardens. We use the Senate session. Padme presents the evidence. We let him think he can talk his way out of it, and when he tries to flee, we're waiting. Master Skywalker, the Senate session begins in 1 hour. Senator Amidala is ready. Good, Luke says. Master Windu, I need you to coordinate with the Temple Guard. Lock down the Senate building. No one enters or leaves without Jedi clearance. Already done, Mace says. Luke nods. Anakin, Obi-Wan, you're with me. We're going to the emergency shuttle bay beneath the Senate. That's where he'll run. How do you know? Obi-Wan asks. Because it's what I do, Luke says. Palpatine is a survivor. He always has an escape plan. We're going to be there when he uses it. They move. Senate building. Main chamber. Thousands of senators in their hovering platforms. Padme stands at the central podium. Bail Organa beside her. Members of the Galactic Senate, Padme begins. I come before you today with evidence of treason at the highest levels of our government. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, Padme continues, is Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. He has orchestrated the Clone Wars. He controls both the Republic and the Separatist Alliance, and he has planned the systematic extermination of the Jedi Order. The chamber erupts, senators shouting, platforms jostling for position. Palpatine stands in his chancellor's box, hands raised. My dear Senator Amidala, these accusations are documented. Bail interrupts. He activates the holoprojector. The recordings play. Palpatine's voice. Dooku calling him Master. Order 66. The conspiracy laid bare for the entire Senate to witness. Palpatine's mask slips. Just for a moment, his eyes flash yellow. Then the mask returns. Doctored holo-recordings. Jedi manipulation. This is a coup, Senators. The Jedi are attempting to seize control of the Republic. The Jedi have provided physical evidence, Mon Mothma says. She displays the inhibitor chips. These were removed from clone troopers, each one programmed to execute Order 66. The Senate goes silent. Palpatine realizes he's lost. The Senate believes the evidence. They're turning against him. I invoke Article 7, Padme declares. I call for an immediate vote of no confidence in Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Mas Amedda hesitates. Looks at Palpatine. The Chancellor nods slightly. The motion is recognized, Amedda says. All in favor? The vote is overwhelming. Thousands of platforms light up in support. Palpatine stands. Very well. If the Senate believes I am a traitor, then I will submit to arrest. But know this, you are condemning the Republic to chaos. He descends from his box. Senate guards approach. Then Palpatine moves. Faster than thought. Faster than human. His lightsaber ignites from his sleeve. Crimson blade humming. The Senate guards don't even see the strikes. They fall, dead before they hit the ground. Screams erupt. Senators flee their platforms. Palpatine leaps. His Form 7, Juyo, is a blur of motion. He cuts through guards, through security, through anyone in his path. He's heading for the emergency exit, the secret passage to the shuttle bay. But Luke is already there. Waiting in the shadows, Palpatine bursts through the door into the shuttle bay. Massive space, 3 Lambda-class shuttles prepped for launch. Count Dooku stands beside one, lightsaber drawn. Master, Dooku says. The shuttle is ready. Then Luke steps into the light. Anakin and Obi-Wan flank him. 3 Jedi. Blue and green blades igniting. Palpatine's yellow eyes narrow. So, the mysterious Force user reveals himself. Luke's voice is calm. Hello, Sidious. I'm Luke Skywalker, Grandmaster of the Jedi Order. And I'm here to end you. Palpatine laughs. It's not the grandfatherly chuckle he uses in public. It's something darker. Colder. Skywalker, Palpatine muses. You're Anakin's son. From the future. Yes, Luke says. Fascinating, Palpatine says. Tell me, boy, in your timeline, did I win? You ruled for 20 years, Luke says. Then my father threw you down a reactor shaft. You died screaming. Palpatine's smile vanishes. Then I suppose this time I'll kill you first. He doesn't wait. Doesn't monologue. He attacks. Force lightning erupts from both hands. Not aimed at Luke. At the support columns. The shuttle bay shakes. Durasteel groans. The structure begins to collapse. Anakin deflects falling debris with the Force. Obi-Wan leaps aside as a beam crashes where he stood. Luke doesn't move, just walks forward through the chaos like it's a gentle rain. Palpatine snarls, redirects the lightning at Luke. Luke raises one hand. The lightning stops. Mid-air, crackling between Palpatine's fingers and Luke's palm. Tutaminis, the lost art of energy absorption. Luke's hand glows white-hot as he absorbs the Emperor's fury. The dark side lightning pours into him, and he converts it, purifies it. The energy becomes light. Your Sith lightning, Luke says calmly, is nothing compared to the power of the light side. He releases the energy, not back at Sidious, harmlessly into the Durasteel floor. The metal glows red-hot, then cools. Palpatine's eyes widen. Impossible. Dooku attacks from the side. His curved lightsaber a crimson blur. Form 2, Makashi, precision dueling. Obi-Wan intercepts. Their blades clash. Master against former apprentice. Dooku. Obi-Wan says. It's over. Surrender. Never. Dooku hisses. The Jedi failed me. The Sith showed you lies. Obi-Wan counters. And you fell for them. Their duel moves across the shuttle bay. Elegance against elegance. Soresu defense against Makashi offense. Meanwhile, Palpatine faces Luke and Anakin, father and son, blue and green blades. Palpatine uses Form 7, Juyo, unpredictable, aggressive. every strike designed to kill. But Anakin is the chosen one at his peak. No cybernetics, no limitations, just pure force potential. And Luke is a Grandmaster who has mastered every form. He moves between styles fluidly. Form V power, Form 3 defense, Form 4 acrobatics. Together they are unstoppable. Palpatine realizes it quickly. He can't win this fight. He leaps back. Lord Tyrannus, to me. Dooku disengages from Obi-Wan, joins his master. Now it's 2 Sith against 3 Jedi. Palpatine and Dooku coordinate perfectly. Decades of training together. Master and apprentice. But Luke has seen this fight before. Not this exact duel, but the pattern. The way Sith fight. The way they use hate as fuel. He reaches out with the Force. Not to attack. To show. Suddenly, Dooku is no longer in the shuttle bay. He's in the Emperor's office on Coruscant, watching himself, Lord Tyrannus, kneel before Palpatine. And he hears Palpatine's thoughts. Good. The old fool serves his purpose. When Skywalker is ready, I'll have him kill Dooku. A test of loyalty. Dooku's eyes widen. In the vision he sees his own death, aboard the invisible hand. Palpatine ordering Anakin to execute him. Kill him. Kill him now. The vision ends. Dooku stumbles. His lightsaber wavers. You were going to betray me, Dooku breathes. I was always expendable. Focus, you fool. Palpatine snaps. But Dooku's concentration is broken, his faith shattered. Anakin sees the opening, strikes. His blue blade cuts through Dooku's wrist. The curved lightsaber falls. Dooku collapses, clutching his severed hand. I yield. Dooku gasps. I yield. Weak, Palpatine hisses. You were always weak, Tyrannus. He doesn't hesitate. Spins. Red blade cutting through Dooku's chest. The Count falls. Dead. Treachery is the way of the Sith, Palpatine says, and now you have no one. Luke's voice is quiet. He has us. Palpatine faces Luke and Anakin alone. Obi-Wan joins them. 3 Jedi in perfect formation. You cannot defeat me, Palpatine says. I am the dark side incarnate. I am eternal. No, Luke says. You're just an old man who's been cheating death for too long. Palpatine screams. Unleashes everything. Force lightning from both hands. A storm of dark side energy. Luke steps forward. Stands between his father and the lightning. Raises both hands. The lightning hits him. Pours into him. His hands glow incandescent. But he doesn't fall. Doesn't scream. He absorbs every jewel. Every spark. The dark side fury converted to light. And when Palpatine is exhausted, when the lightning finally stops, Luke is still standing. My turn, Luke says. He extends his right hand. Golden lightning erupts from his fingers. Not Sith blue. Not dark side corruption. Electric judgment. The light side's answer to Force lightning. The golden sparks hit Palpatine. Burn through his robes, his skin, his very essence. Palpatine screams, falls to his knees. Anakin steps forward, his blue lightsaber raised. This is for Padme, Anakin says. For the younglings you would have made me kill. For every Jedi you planned to murder. One clean strike. Blue blade through the chest. Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, dies. His body crumples. The yellow fades from his eyes. The dark side presence that has clouded the Force for decades shatters like glass. Across Coruscant, across the galaxy, every Force-sensitive being feels it. The weight lifting. The fog clearing. In the Jedi Temple, Yoda gasps. Gone, the darkness is. Ended, the Sith are. Anakin deactivates his lightsaber. Stands over Palpatine's corpse. Luke places a hand on his father's shoulder. It's over, Dad. You're free. Anakin turns, pulls Luke into an embrace. I didn't fall. I didn't become Vader. No, Luke says. You became something better. A father. A hero. The chosen one who actually brought balance. Obi-Wan approaches. Looks at Palpatine's body. The Sith are defeated. The war can end. But without Sidious controlling them, they'll surrender. I'll make sure of it. They leave the shuttle bay, climb back to the Senate chamber. Padme is there, surrounded by Senate guards, When she sees Anakin, she runs to him. They embrace. No hiding, no secrecy, just husband and wife, reunited. Is it over? Padme asks. It's over, Anakin says. Palpatine is dead. The Senate erupts in applause. 3 months later, Jedi Temple, Council Chamber. The room is different now. The chairs have been rearranged, less hierarchical, more circular. A true council, not a throne room. Yoda sits in his chair, but he's no longer Grandmaster. Resign, I do, Yoda says. Too long in the old ways we have been. A new path the Order must take. The Council doesn't argue. They've learned. Mace Windu speaks. We propose reforms to the Jedi Code. The Council has debated extensively. Here are our recommendations. He activates the holoprojector. The new code appears, revised Jedi Code. There is emotion, yet peace. There is passion, yet serenity. There is chaos, yet harmony. There is death, yet the Force. We acknowledge emotion, Mace says. We teach younglings to process feelings, not suppress them. Love is not forbidden. Marriage is permitted. Families are honored. Plo Koon adds, we will no longer take children from their parents without consent. Families may visit. Force-sensitive beings may choose to join the Order as adults. Shak Ti continues, we reform our role in the Republic. The Jedi are advisors, not military generals. We serve the Force first, the Republic second. Never again will we lead armies. Obi-Wan stands, and we establish a new position, Grandmaster of the Jedi Order, someone who embodies these principles, someone who has proven that balance is possible. Every council member turns to Luke. We offer the position to you, Master Skywalker. Obi-Wan says. Luke shakes his head. I can't. I don't belong in this timeline. I came to save my father and stop the Sith. That's done. Soon, I'll return to the world between worlds. Yoda's ears droop. Leave. You must? Yes, Luke says. But before I go, I'll help you rebuild. I'll train your teachers. I'll share everything I learned in 60 years. The Order will be stronger than it ever was. Anakin steps forward. Then I nominate Master Kenobi for Grandmaster. He's wise, compassionate, and he's never stopped believing in the light. The Council votes unanimously. Obi-Wan bows. I accept, but only if Anakin joins the Council, as a full Master. Mace smiles. We grant you the rank of Master, Anakin Skywalker, and a seat on this Council. Anakin's eyes widen. The thing he wanted for so long, offered freely, with respect. Thank you, Anakin says. Later that day, the Senate ratifies the Treaty of Coruscant. The Separatist Council, without Sidious's manipulation, agrees to a ceasefire. The Clone Wars officially end. General Grievous is captured on Utapau. Tried for war crimes, sentenced to life imprisonment. The clone troopers are granted full citizenship. Every clone across the entire galaxy receives the medical procedure to remove their inhibitor chips. Captain Rex stands before the Senate, representing all clones. We were created to be slaves, Rex says. Bred for war, programmed to kill. Today we become citizens, people, brothers who choose our own destiny. The Senate rises in applause. Mon Mothma, elected as the new Supreme Chancellor, addresses the Republic. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, who traveled through time to prevent tyranny. Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one who brought balance to the Force. The 501st Legion, who proved that even programming can be overcome by free will. And every being who chose compassion over fear. We rebuild now, a republic that serves all beings, where democracy is more than a word, where freedom is more than an idea. May the Force be with us all. 6 months after Palpatine's death, Naboo, Lake Country, a small house by the water, simple, beautiful, peaceful. Padme lies in bed, breathing hard. The medical droid hovers nearby. Anakin grips her hand. You're doing great. Just a little more. Easy for you to say. Padme gasps. You're not pushing out twins. Anakin laughs. It's a sound of pure joy. Luke stands in the doorway, watching, smiling. The medical droid speaks. The first child is crowning. One more push, Senator. Padme screams, pushes. A baby's cry fills the room. It's a boy, the droid announces. Anakin's hands shake as he holds the tiny squirming infant. Luke, he whispers. His name is Luke. Looks at the older Luke standing nearby, named after the man who saved us all. One more to go, the droid says. Minutes later, a second cry. A girl. Leia, Padme says. After your mother, Anakin. Anakin holds both babies, tears streaming down his face. I thought I'd lost you, all of you. I thought I'd die alone in darkness. But you're here. You're real. You're mine. Luke approaches, looks at his infant self, at his sister. They're beautiful, Luke says. Obi-Wan enters. He's been waiting outside, giving the family privacy. He sees the twins and his eyes water. May I? Obi-Wan asks. Anakin hands him baby Leia. Obi-Wan cradles her gently. Hello, little one, Obi-Wan whispers. You're going to do great things, but this time, you won't have to fight a war to do them. Over the next months, Luke stays, helps rebuild the Jedi Order. He trains the Council in techniques they'd forgotten. Force healing, battle meditation, shatterpoint perception. He teaches them about attachment, about love, about being human and being Jedi simultaneously. He trains Anakin personally, father and son, master and student, learning from each other. One evening they spar in the temple training room, green blade versus blue, Grandmaster versus chosen one. They move like poetry. Form v power, form I v grace, decades of experience against raw natural talent. They're evenly matched. When the spar ends, they're both breathing hard, smiling. You're good, Anakin says. I learned from the best, Luke replies. You, eventually. They sit together on the training room floor. What happens when you leave? Anakin asks. Do you fade, disappear? I don't know, Luke admits. The world between worlds doesn't follow normal rules. I might return to my own timeline. It might be different now. Better. Or, I might cease to exist entirely. I don't want you to go, Anakin says quietly. I know, Luke says. But I don't belong here, Dad. This timeline has its own Luke now, a baby growing up with both parents. With peace, he'll become something I never could. Better, stronger, happier. Because of you, Anakin says. Because you chose love over fear, Luke corrects. I just showed you the path. You walked it yourself. That night, Luke visits Padme and the twins one last time. Padme holds baby Luke. Baby Leia sleeps in the crib beside her. Are you leaving soon? Padme asks. Tomorrow, Luke says. I can feel the world between worlds calling me back. Padme's eyes fill with tears. Thank you. For everything. For saving Anakin. For saving our family. Thank you for being my mother, Luke says. In every timeline, in every reality, you chose love. That's what saved him, not me. He reaches out, touches baby Luke's tiny hand. Live well, little one, Luke whispers. Be happy, love freely, and never be afraid to choose compassion. The next morning, Luke stands in the Jedi Temple courtyard. The entire council is there. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme holding the twins, Captain Rex, and the 501st, Bail Organa, Mon Mothma. Everyone who fought to save the Republic. Luke closes his eyes, reaches out through the Force. The world between worlds answers. A portal rips open, green lightning crackling. The doorway home. Thank you, Luke says to all of them, for giving me the galaxy I always dreamed of. One where my father smiled, where my mother lived, where the Jedi served the light instead of falling to darkness. Go in peace, Master Skywalker, Yoda says. Grateful, the galaxy is. Luke steps toward the portal, stops, turns back. Dad, Luke says. Anakin steps forward. Luke embraces him. I love you, in every timeline, in every reality. Never forget that. I won't, Anakin whispers. I promise. They release each other. Luke looks at Obi-Wan. Take care of him, Master. Always, Obi-Wan says. Luke steps through the portal. The green lightning flares. The doorway closes. He's gone. Anakin stands there staring at the space where his son stood. Padme approaches. Places baby Luke in Anakin's arms. He'll be fine, Padme says. Wherever he is, Whatever timeline he's in, he's your son. He'll be fine. Anakin looks down at the baby, at this tiny life that will grow up in peace. Yes, Anakin says, he will. A full family home. Luke Skywalker, 19 years old, trained by his father Anakin, stands on the dock. His green lightsaber hums at his belt. His sister Leia, equally powerful, stands beside him. She's chosen politics over the Jedi path, following their mother. Do you ever wonder about him? Leia asks. The other Luke, the one from the future. Every day, Luke says, Dad tells us stories about the man who saved the galaxy, about the Grandmaster who gave us peace. Think we'll ever meet him? Leia asks. Luke looks at the sunset, twin suns dipping below the horizon. Maybe, Luke says. The Force works in mysterious ways. If he could travel through time once, maybe he can do it again. I hope he found peace, Leia says. Me too, Luke agrees. Inside the house, Anakin and Padme sit with their grandchildren, Leia's twins, Ben and Rey, Luke's daughter, Mara. 3 generations, a family that should never have existed, saved by a son who crossed time itself. Anakin looks out the window, sees his children on the dock. Thank you, Anakin whispers to the sky, to the Force, to the son he met for mere months but loved for a lifetime. Thank you for saving us, the Force whispers back. Gentle, warm. You saved yourself, Anakin. I just showed you the way. Anakin smiles. Padme takes his hand. What are you thinking about? Family, Anakin says. How lucky we are. Yes, Padme agrees. We are. The twin suns set over Naboo. The galaxy is at peace. The Jedi serve the light. The Republic thrives. And somewhere, in the world between worlds, Grandmaster Luke Skywalker watches through a window in time. He sees his father, happy, alive, whole. He sees himself, this timeline's version, growing up with love instead of loss. He sees the galaxy he always dreamed of. I did it, Luke whispers. I saved them all. And the Force, infinite and eternal, answers, yes, you did. Luke turns away from the window. There are other timelines, other futures, other families to save. But for now, he rests. For now he's at peace. The Jedi God who crossed time. The son who saved his father. The master who changed destiny. Luke Skywalker. And his legend will echo through every timeline, every reality, every corner of the galaxy. Forever. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.